Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our latest social media webinar. I'm just going to give people a couple of minutes because I appreciate it might take a few people to get on a bit longer. So I'll give another minute or so for folk to join, and then we will crack on. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our latest social media webinar. Okay, everybody, so welcome to those of you who didn't hear my prior introduction. My name is Max Butler. I am from the UK contingent communications team for the World Jamboree in 2019 to America. There's a few other folk on the call today. We have Stuart Card, who is the head of the UK contingent communications for the Jamboree. We've got Tom Bell, who is our social media manager. Now, if there's anything that Tom doesn't know about social media, it isn't worth knowing about at all. So I'm really pleased that Tom could join us this evening. So what are we going to cover then for the duration of the webinar? So I'm going to take you through the social media platforms that are out there. There are other social media platforms other than ones that I will take you through. I call them the usual suspects that we're kind of going to go through today, but there's actually plenty more other channels out there, but we're not going to go into those today. I'm going to go through internal versus external social media, the benefits for using each, and I think this is definitely the most important thing for you guys to take away today is the internal audience versus the external audience. I'm going to talk a bit about the do's and don'ts of social media. A few tips, tricks. I'm going to go over some kind of examples of good social content. I'm going to go over, or I'm going to explain some points where I think maybe there could have been some improvements to posts, etc. Tom is going to talk about the UK contingent social channels. So obviously we have Facebook pages for the contingent, we have Twitter pages, or a Twitter page, sorry, Instagram, and we use a lot of hashtags. Don't worry, we'll kind of touch on hashtags in a minute if you don't kind of know what they are. But Tom will talk about those as well today. So I said the usual social platforms. So when I talk about that, I mean Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So these are what people would refer to as the big three. So Facebook, as you know, is out there so often. It's one of the most common used social media platforms for all age ranges. It's actually high up in the news at the moment. We've got Instagram, which I would say is probably one of the most popular social media channels for young people. A lot of people use that now. We're seeing the trend kind of move away from using Facebook for younger generations and moving towards using Instagram. Twitter, again, is another great platform. Twitter generally has a lot of commercial content because it's a great platform for businesses. It's a great platform for people like us to share our information, and a great platform for you as units and members of the contingent to really get involved. So as I said, the biggest thing I want you to take home today or take away from this is internal versus external audiences. So what do I mean when I say internal versus external? So internal, for me, this is your unit members and their parents and their families. So the most commonly used channel for this would be a Facebook group. So a Facebook group is a closed, or it can be open, but in my recommendation to you as communications champions for units is that you have a closed Facebook group, and in this Facebook group you would monitor the members. You would make sure that only family members that have units, so mums, dads, aunties, uncles, grandparents, or whoever the young person is kind of nominated as their contact, and the young person themselves. So that is okay. The young people can be involved in that Facebook group as long as they're over the age of 13, because that is the Facebook's age limit. So external, this is everybody else. This is the public domain. This is friends, family that you wouldn't have in your internal group. It's other scout groups, it's other unit supporters, it is just the general public. It can be the media, it can be businesses, so potential funders, and other partners that you might be involved in. So a Facebook like page would be the other side of Facebook that you would use as your public external facing social media channel. Twitter doesn't have to split like Facebook, so Twitter is just one platform. If you're a person, you have a handle. So a handle is the little thing that comes after the word, the @ sign, and that's your unique username. So whether you're a business, you have a handle. Whether you are a person, you have a handle. Whether you're a group, whether you're a scout group, whoever you are the same to Twitter. You are just a user account. And that is also reflected in Instagram, where it's just the same. Obviously there are blue ticks across different things, so you can, for those of you who don't know, blue tick is when a Facebook page or a Twitter page or an Instagram page is endorsed by Facebook or Twitter or Instagram as being official. So a business might have them, or some, I've seen some scout groups, the Scout Association has one, a blue tick for example. So on the screen here you can see some internal content examples. So I've used a fake Facebook post generator online, which is quite a strange tool that I found on the internet, and I've made my fake unit, which is unit 176. So unit 176 have got an internal Facebook group, and they're posting regular updates in there that are for their internal audience. So again, internal, that is people within the Jamboree unit, it's people within the families of those unit members. So perfect here. Is anyone able to share a lift from York with Clive and Fred to the unit event this weekend? So great, really useful piece of information. It doesn't need any hashtags because it's internally, because you're not going to be able to link to it from anywhere else. And actually, to be honest, it's not relevant to anybody externally. They're not bothered that Clive and Fred are looking for a lift to the unit event this weekend, but it is a really useful way for you as units to communicate across each other. Another example here, parents, please can you collect at 1900 instead of 1945? Again, not that useful to people outside the unit, but important to your unit members. Another one here, last chance to send Barbara your sizes for polo shirts. We need them by this Friday to get the order delivered in time for our next unit weekend. So I have seen, and I follow quite a lot of the units on Facebook, I follow on Twitter, and I follow them on Instagram, and it's absolutely fantastic to see some of the really good content that you guys are pushing out on a regular basis. So but there is one thing that I would say is I do keep seeing lots of posts on external kind of public facing pages that aren't that relevant to external. It's not that they're bad or they're wrong, it's just that they're not relevant, and it kind of clogs up where you could be putting really positive relevant messages out for kind of external people. So this is again, I used my little fake social media post generator website and created my fake Unit 123 WSJ 2019. This is an example tweet that you could put out, and this one just says, "Don't forget you can purchase our fundraising badges from our website at fakewebsite.com/shop. All profits go to supporting our unit members." So this is a good post. It's not a perfect post. This post is relevant to members of your unit, but it's also relevant to lots of other people out there, other Scout members, friends, associates, whoever, because they can buy badges. That's a good idea. What is missing from here is hashtags. So a hashtag is a unique tag that you can create to link all of the posts that you create about a particular subject. So for example, if you wanted to see everything that somebody had posted about jumpers, you could type in hashtag jumper into the social media or search bar on Twitter, Facebook or Instagram, and you'd see all the posts related to that. So we want to do exactly the same as that for our Jamboree. So you might hashtag the UK contingent hashtag, which is UK 24 WSJ, as you can see in this good example of a post here that Unit 008 have done. So this isn't a fake one that I've generated, this is a real post by a real unit out there, and if the unit champion here for Unit 008 is here, hello. So yeah, what else is good about this post? So it's got a good friendly picture, everyone looks happy. Yes, okay, it is kind of a stagnant shot, a group shot that's don't always look so great, but this one's really good. Everyone looks like they're having a good time. It relates to America. It's got the hashtags, it's got emojis in there. So for those of you who don't know, emojis are a series of kind of smiley faces, little bear faces, someone throwing, you know, there's all sorts of little icons essentially that you can create using keyboard shortcuts or the little drop down menu in the post on both Facebook, sorry, on all Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. So here's a link that I have grabbed from, a post that I've grabbed from another Jamboree unit. This time it's a Facebook one. This is the Durham unit. So they have an easy fundraising page. So they've shared this out. This is relevant stuff to everybody outside of the Jamboree unit, so this is relevant to friends, family. They can go on there and click it. You wouldn't want to post this on your internal page because, well, you might do if you want your parents to use it, but you want to push it much further out there and really get people involved with your fundraising. So this is an Instagram post this time by the West Sussex unit. So hello West Sussex unit, if you're out there listening today. This is a great video that they put up, which has some of their unit members speaking about unit names. It's really friendly, it's youth shaped, it's got all the hashtags on there as well, so we could click one of those hashtags now and we'd be able to see all the posts that relate to those hashtags that are on there today. This is another one that I have got from Instagram. So this is the UK Birmingham one. So this is one of the Birmingham units. This is actually really good because this shows our young people doing some great legacy work, doing some kind of tree planting for a local activity centre, which is really good. What I would say is that this is missing any hashtags, even if I remember rightly. If even when you click more, there are no hashtags on this post. So if you do remember to put those kind of things in, and when we do, Tom from the social media team, he will share them out where possible from our national social accounts, which we'll come to shortly. So I thought I'd kind of summarise a few do's and don'ts about social media. So being positive is really, really important. If you are kind of, your posts are dull, the pictures are boring, people aren't going to be engaged, they're not going to read it, they're going to scroll straight past your post in their feed when they're stroking their phone in their lunch times. So keep it brief. You don't want huge essays. You've actually got character limits on Twitter, which is great. Don't feel like you have to use the whole limit either. Please post plenty of stuff out, but yeah, as I say, just keep it brief, to the point. Use lots of emojis, break up your posts, weave in scouting messages. I'm sure that you, or if you don't, you should. The National Scout Association pages have got some really good examples about how to kind of keep on brand, so to speak, and keep on message about scouting, using that kind of skills for life brand, about being positive, and leaving a legacy is also part of our kind of Jamboree vision and kind of mission. Share your articles. There is so many great articles popping up in local media. I get a summary from the National HQ team of all the kind of media every month, and I get to kind of look through and see what people are putting out in the press, in their local press or radio stations. Share those online articles. Go to their website, click share via Facebook, share by Twitter, or whatever, and then more people will see your articles, and it's a great place for the other Jamboree units to see those as well. Break up your posts by using images, GIFs, and videos, like you saw in those posts I chose as examples for external posts. They all use those things, and GIFs are a really good fun way of making you know, a stagnant image a little bit more exciting by kind of putting multiple images together. And if you literally just Google GIF Maker, you can upload your own images, and it'll just cycle between them, and you can just download that and upload that, or you can use the GIF engines that are built into Twitter, Facebook and Instagram to put stuff up. Use your social platforms to support your local fundraising, because you can you'll start building up a really good rate of followers on your pages. Support those local fundraising events. You know, if Little Johnny's organising a cake sale at their scout hut after Scouts 1 week, share that kind of stuff out. Share the jumping off bridges, bungee jumping, whatever it is that that your units getting up to. Please share that kind of stuff out there, and opportunities for people to donate and things. That's a great thing to put up there. Limit your access, and what I mean by that is try not to have too many people accountable for using the social media platforms and the social media pages that you've got. The reason I say that this is not because you don't trust people or anything like that. It's just that it's easier to monitor who's responsible for putting posts on Facebook. So you might decide that it's just going to be the comms champion and the unit leader, or you might decide that certain platforms you're going to let the young people manage as well. But please limit those people to kind of a handful, so you know when something's posted, you can kind of work out who's done it roughly. Don't overpost. Put plenty of stuff out there, but please don't post 10 times in a day. People will get bored of that. Try and break it up. There's quite often people will go onto Twitter one evening, they'll post 10 times, they'll log off for a week, and then they'll come back, and really just try and break up those posts over the week. Sounds really simple, but please proofread before you post. You know, everybody makes mistakes, typos. You just don't want to kind of get yourself tied in any knots there. Just read up your post before you send anything out. Quite an obvious one. Don't share any personal information. Says what it does on the tin there. I'm not going to go too much more into detail on that one. And also, if you wouldn't say it, don't post it. So try to use correct English. Obviously, you can have a laugh and use slang talk. But if it's not likely to be understood and you wouldn't say it to somebody in a conversation, or you wouldn't say it to your mum, don't post it on there. Is my tip for that. So that's enough of me talking for the evening. So I'm going to invite Tom, who is our social media manager, just to talk about the units, all the UK contingent social media channels that we've got out there. So Twitter, Facebook and Instagram that we've got nationally, and he'll talk a little bit about some other channels that we're working to do as well. So there will be a slight delay for him coming on once I stop talking, so please bear with us.
Hello. Good evening, everybody. So my role within the UK contingent, as Max said, is to manage our social media presence and to help you guys be awesome on social media as well. Max, are you managing the slide kind of run through? Are you okay to just hit the next slide if that's okay, because I don't have access? Perfect, thank you. So just give you an overview of what external channels that we have. As a contingent, we have the Facebook page, which is just facebook.com/UK contingent, and the Twitter handle, which is @UK contingent as well. Now, everything that goes to those two pages is synchronized. So when we post original content to Twitter, it will also go to Facebook as well. And we'll be sharing lots and lots of really cool stuff that's happening locally there. Now, if you are tweeting, if you are sharing on Facebook as well with your units, then any public kind of external facing stuff, please tag us in it, because we love to see what's happening locally, and we love to share it as well. So by us reposting and retweeting the content that you guys send us, it also goes to all of our followers as well as yours. So it helps kind of spread the message of the Jamboree. Any photos that you tag us in on Instagram as well, we're on there as UK contingent. Feel free to tag us as well, even if we're not physically in it. That way it pops up on our feed so we can see it, like it, and share it as well, because it's really great for us to see what's happening locally. Now, as Max said, the hashtag is UK24WSJ, and that's across Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So if you have a public Facebook page, you can also use hashtags now that will categorize your posts and allow everybody to see a general overview of what's happening Jamboree-wise. So if you'd like everything to appear in those kind of searches, then definitely use the hashtag, and feel free to invent your own as well. I've seen loads of units that have been really proactive and started their own hashtags, like hashtag unit 64, for example, is a really good kind of way of personalizing, and you can use more than one hashtag per post, as we've seen. So to go over to our internal platforms, we've got 4 Facebook groups. Now we're in the process of setting these up and regulating the people that are in these groups, but to give you a quick overview, we've got the UK Unit Leaders Group, the UK Comms Champions Group, the UK IST Group, and the whole UK contingent. So just to give you an overview of Unit Leaders and Comms Champions, it's our official contingent group. It's monitored for any kind of questions, queries, and potential challenges that you guys may be having locally. And it's a place to share your unit adventures and network with other units. This is your platform to kind of share what you guys are doing locally, share best practice, share what's been really good for you guys, share what's been difficult, and kind of work with other units around the country to kind of provide the awesome Jamboree experience to as many people as possible. So it's your go-to tool if you'd like a hand with anything and like to ask for some advice from any other unit leaders about anything at all. And that's what that platform is there for. So our Facebook groups are not necessarily a platform for an open Q&A between you guys and the CMST. Anything kind of official and announcement based will be on the website. That's our one source of truth. So that platform is more for you guys to network and for us to kind of have a look and see what's going on locally as well. So moving on to the IST group, just very briefly, it's the official group for all IST. So once you've got our IST finalized, we'll be adding all of our IST into that and sharing all the kind of information and queries as well. And that's also a platform for those guys to network and get to know each other. And then we've got the whole UK contingent. So this is a really exciting group because we're going to have all of the young people that are on Facebook, of course, all of the unit leadership teams, including comms champions and volunteers that are going to the Jamboree, the IST as well, because what we really want to encourage is a really good relationship between the IST and, of course, local volunteers that are going. So get to know your IST from your region and your county, which is really important. And for the CMST as well, because at the end of the day, we're one contingent going to the Jamboree, and it's really exciting. And it's a really awesome adventure for all of us, so we can all experience it together in that whole contingent group. Now, if you're in either the comms champion group or the unit leader group, you'll see, if you access it on the website on facebook.com, you can see that UK contingent is a linked group. So if you're already in one of those, you'll automatically be accepted into UK contingent. And we're working our way through adding everybody as quick as we can. I hope you can appreciate there's a lot of people that we got to add, so it can take some time to approve your request. But my best advice there would be to please answer the questions you'll be presented with when you join, and I'll touch on that in a second. And don't forget that the UK contingent group will have young people in, so don't forget those yellow and orange cards. So just give you a who's going to be in which group. It's fairly self-explanatory. So the unit leaders, you guys are more than welcome to be in the UK unit leaders and UK contingent groups. Comms champions, UK comms champions, and UK contingent group. IST, their group and the UK contingent, and the young people in the big contingent group. Now, unit leaders, you're more than welcome to be in the comms champion group as well. It's just any comms champion specific information will probably be talked about and networked in that group. So if you're wanted to join, you're of course more than welcome to, but it's your choice completely. You don't have to be overwhelmed with lots of comms stuff. So these are the links, and we'll share these with you guys as well in an email, just to show you what's going to be there. And we're in the process of setting up the IST one as well. Now, when you join, you'll notice that they are closed groups, of course, and they are for young people, volunteers that are going to the Jamboree. Our external channels are for those that are not necessarily going to the Jamboree, so we can share that experience. But for anybody going on the Jamboree, this is what the groups are for. So feel free to request to join, and please answer the questions that are popped up. It's just our way of ensuring that the right people are in the right groups. And if you answer the questions, then that makes that process nice and speedy. Next slide, please. Oh, perfect. So if anybody has any questions, they can add them. I was going to touch on Snapchat very briefly. So we mentioned at Unit Leader 1 that we're investigating kind of the use of Snapchat, because of course it is a major platform for young people. And at the moment we're working with various teams to kind of get this nailed down, and we'll be back to you as soon as we do. But just to kind of give you an update, we are working on it, and we'll get back to you as soon as we have any kind of official advice. So we've had a question in from Paul saying, what do you think are the best scheduling tools? Over my experience, I personally use Hootsuite. Hootsuite's a really good tool. TweetDeck, and over at UK Scout Network, where I manage the social media, we use a system called Social Booster, which is really good and free, of course, and kind of embeds your social media plan all into one nice website, and it also has a mobile app as well. But there are loads of different ones, so my advice would be try them. If they're free, there's no harm in it, and see which one works for you and your young people. Over to Max.
Thanks for that, Tom. That was really good. It's useful to hear all about that, and thank you for kind of giving us a little overview about what's to come, and how to kind of get involved with the national content that we're pushing out on our national channels. So if anybody has any more questions, fire them in. Please do. So Tom will read them out, and then either Tom or myself will answer them. So I'll give you a moment just to put some up, and then Tom will pick one or two and come back to me.
We've got questions flooding in. We've got one here saying, are there further updates for the SSU training?
Yep, there will be further updates for the SSU training coming out. So we're kind of finalising exactly what it is that we're going to do. Obviously, the dates are all set, and we're really excited. We've got a great team together that are going to deliver the SSU courses up and down the country. We've had some good meetings and calls to discuss the content for those, both for the comms champions and for the young spokespeople that will be coming up to those weekends as well. So dead excited. Watch this space, and you'll hear plenty of stuff coming further out about that shortly.
I think that's all we've got for the moment. It might be worth waiting for a couple more.
It's if you don't have any further questions, that is okay. If you do have any questions that you don't want us to answer live here today, don't forget that you can always contact us via the communications inbox, which is communications@ukcontingent.org. If you have any questions, please send those in. If there's nothing else that's going to come, I will say that we are about to set the next webinar date, which will be in a few months. I'm just going to finalise that, and as soon as we've got it, we'll share it out for both the comms champions, and we'll obviously CC in the unit leaders if any of those would like to join. Don't forget that this will be going up on the website for anyone to see, or you can share this out with other members of your unit leadership team. You can go from there. Oh, I think we have one more question.
One more question for you. Well, a couple actually, or quite a few flooding in. So we've got, how can we best prepare our SSU participants for the actual training day itself?
I wouldn't say that you massively need to prepare your participants in any way. They just need to come with an open mind, willingness to get stuck in, that kind of scout spirit that I'm sure they have anyway.
Perfect. The next one is, are you planning any video idents with T-Bear logos and branding, etc.? It'd be really good to use for any unit video content.
So is that, I assume they mean, well, I'll answer it what I think you mean. I'm not sure if we're developing anything. I can certainly ask Stuart, who was unable to join as a presenter today, so he's unable to answer any questions, but I will ask him if he's got any answer to that, and we'll post an update about that in due course.
Perfect. And we've got another one saying, will the comms champions have to attend the SSU training with the participants?
So the comms champion doesn't have to. The comms champion doesn't have to attend at all. It's up to them whether they want to attend. We'd really encourage them to. Ideally, yes, it would be best if there is a problem that you've got where that it doesn't look like that you're going to be able to attend the same one. Just get in touch with us via the communications inbox, and we can work something out there.
Perfect. I've just had a message from Stu saying he will be putting something together for those video idents. So we'll keep you posted. Stu is on it. And that's all the questions I believe we've got.
All right. Well, thank you very much to Tom. Thank you very much to you guys for coming on today. And we'll look forward to seeing all the social media content that you guys put up in the coming weeks. Thank you very much. Cheers now.
Bye.
I've dialed off, so you should still be able to hear me, Tom, I think. Unless you've gone. Nope, you've gone.
No, I'm not gone. I'm still here.
Oh, you are still here.
I've surely ended the call. Oh.